In this video, I'm going to tell you the problem I had with this enormous, expensive setup and exactly how I fixed it with a couple of discount end tables and the worst review display of the last couple of years. See, I've been sitting here since 2020, basically in my dining room at an Apple retail-sized table with a massive cinema camera and OLED monitor on one end and a huge key light, shotgun mic, and sound panels at the other end, and some fill lights behind me. And while it works fantastically well for making one or a few videos a week for YouTube, there was just no way that I could use it for all the video calls I have every day, every workday now at YouTube. No, for that I needed something less sit down and more stand up, less overtly extra and more casually extra. And I needed it to fit in a pretty tiny space, literally adjacent to my actual studio. So that meant traditional standing desks. Any traditional desks were pretty much out of the question. But the place where I got my shelves, the shelves behind me, was having this clearance sale, and I found two end tables that I could stack, one on top of the other, that not only fit right into the corner, perfectly into the corner, but were just exactly the right height and gave me a bit of extra storage room as well. My work computer, a 16-inch MacBook Pro, fit perfectly fine on it, and because it's a laptop, I could also swap it out for my personal computer, also a 16-inch MacBook Pro, whenever I wanted to or needed to edit in Final Cut Pro. And yes, that personal MacBook Pro is still an M1 Max. It took my average render times down from 25 minutes to 5 minutes and freed up my CPU and GPU so I can still work while it encodes. And M2 takes that down to like 3 minutes, but that and the higher RAM limit just weren't a big enough delta, a big enough incentive for my personal workflow to upgrade outside my usual 5-year window. At least not yet, but feel free to show me something, M3. But I did need a display because some dark mode smearing aside, the built-in one is excellent, just not high enough up from the keyboard for good ergonomics. And I'd been holding hope. I'd been holding on to this hope that we'd get an updated mini LED Pro display from Apple, but that still seems stuck in hardware bandwidth purgatory for now. And so I went with, yes, the studio display. What can I tell you? I am just exactly the kind of nerd who demands every one of those 5K pixels and demands that they fall exactly on grid. And I just couldn't get that anywhere else, nor could I get the ridiculously over-engineered adjustable stand in anything approaching a timely manner. So I had to get the regular, perplexingly not adjustable stand and get a riser to make it high enough, not just so that it wasn't blocked by the laptop display because Rene don't clamshell, but so that it was closer to the proper ergonomic height for me to look at as well. And I tried a couple different ones and eventually ended up with one from GroveMade, which gave me a little extra space on both sides as well as underneath. But because of the work I do, I spend most of my time in Chrome tabs, and I typically have Gmail, Calendar, Meet, and Drive up on the big studio display, but also Final Cut Pro for video editing and Photoshop for thumbnails. On the MacBook display, I usually leave Discord and Twitter. Yes, RIP Tweetbot and Twitterific, I miss you every damn day, and whatever else I may need during the day, but not at that exact moment. And yes, I very, very much wish that the studio display had the excellent 1080p wide-angle iMac webcam instead of this very middling ultra-wide with AI fast follow. But I have just massively, overwhelmingly compensated for that by mounting another cinema camera, the C70 above it, with a 20mm pancake lens, a flat LED fill light, and another shotgun mic, because I am me. It is absolutely absurdly ridiculous, but I told myself if I ever wanted to record videos at the SideQuest desk, I'd want the same capabilities and flexibility as the main studio setup. So that's what I went with. They feed via HDMI and XLR into a switcher, which then goes via USB-C into my MacBook Pro, so I can use them for work meetings or pretty much anything else I want. And yes, I am still all shades of salty that Apple went with HDMI and SD just to satisfy the very loud prosumer voices instead of adding even more Thunderbolt ports for pro users who just want to dongle everything to whatever the latest spec is, and you can't dongle SD or HDMI, so if you're not using them, They're just dead ports walking. Everything is also plugged into smart power bars. So just like all I have to say is turn on the studio to record a main video, all I have to say is turn on the office to get to work. To the left, I've got a Groves-made MagSafe stand for my iPhone in case I need to access anything iCloud-based while I'm working. And to the right, a plant and a candle that friends and colleagues gave me just to help me vibe up the setup. And the only thing I need to do now is up my AI skills with Introduction to Neural Networking on Brilliant.org, today's sponsor. Brilliant makes college-level courses available to you, to me, to everyone. It's just the most intuitive and engaging way to learn AI, computer science, math, physics, quantum mechanics, game theory, and so much more in a visual, hands-on way, all designed for high-velocity learning to help you stay focused and reach your goals super fast. And Brilliant makes learning like a game with fun features that let you challenge yourself and compete with others, all with helpful explanations along the way, so you're never left guessing, just always learning. Brilliant has thousands of lessons with more added monthly, and to try everything Brilliant has to offer, free, for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/Ritchie or click on the link in the description. The first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. So just click the button on the screen or go to brilliant.org/Ritchie. Clicking on that button really helps out the channel, and so does checking out this video for all the other tech that I'm using on the daily. Just give it a watch, and I'll see you in the next video.